Hey guys, my name is Cape Pizza, and today with Production Music Live, I'm going to show you how to make this simple beat. This is going to be a very quick video. I'm just going to walk you through all the elements and how to make that. It's going to be for beginners, so you don't have to know anything about Ableton to get started. And all of the sounds that we're going to be using will be provided as a free download in the link below the video, so make sure to grab that. Anyway, I'm going to make a new project and let's remake what you've just heard. Once you open up Ableton for the first time, you're going to see two tracks, a MIDI track and an audio track. In this tutorial, we're just going to work with MIDI tracks, so you can just click on the audio track and delete it. And let's use some kind of instrument on the first MIDI track, because you use MIDI tracks to play instruments. In this case, we're going to play some drums. So in order to get some drums onto this MIDI track, you would have to open up the folder with a free download. Now to add the folder once you download it, you just have to scroll down here, click Add Folder, find the folder, and then it should pop up somewhere in here. Once you click it, you should see all of these folders, and inside the kit folder there should be this file, pmlkit rockstar.adg. Now you can just click that and drag that right here where it says drop an instrument or sample. This is called a drum rack. Here you have 4 slots with samples. So if we press these slots here, you can hear we have the drums necessary to make this beat. Now in order to make a pattern, we have to double click in here. But first let's just make it a bit longer. And now it's just 1 bar, but let's make it 4 bars actually. So I'm just gonna click here where it says length and press 4, enter, and now it should be exactly 4 bars. Let's start from the hi-hat. Now before we start drawing the hi-hats, make sure to change the tempo. Now a good tempo for this type of beat will be 160 beats per minute. So let's make some hi-hats. Let's add a hi-hat like this. Let's add 4 hi-hats. Select this whole area and press Command or Control on the Windows and D, and that's gonna duplicate this pattern over the whole clip. As you can see, I made a mistake. I used the wrong sample. You should use the hi-hat instead of the open hat. So I just select all of these notes and go 1 step down by using the down arrow. So this should sound like this. Nothing crazy. Now to make it more interesting, we're gonna delete this little note and duplicate this note 3 times. Now let's also delete this one and duplicate this one 3 times. Let's delete this one, and duplicate this one 3 times. Let's now play the clip. This is exactly what we're looking for. This is going to give us the bounce in the beat. Now we're going to just add a kick and a snare, and that's going to make our beat a lot more interesting. So let's start from the kick. Let's just place the kick at 1 and at 2.2, so exactly here. And let's do the same thing for the second repeat of this loop. So let's select this area with the kick, press Command and D, and now it should sound like this. And now most beats have snares here in the middle of every bar, so let's place it here. But Rockstar has another snare. So the other snare in the Rockstar is placed right here. So let's add this one in here, and let's add one right here. Let's play this beat now. I like it already. Let's just add an open hat, place it right here. And right here. I think we have the drums. So let's add a new MIDI track. Let's right click here, click Insert MIDI track, and let's add a synth. I think we should add a melody in here. So let's open up this folder with the synth and let's drag it right here. So let's just double click here to add a pattern, and let's click here. Make this pattern longer. Let's actually go for 4 bars for now, and let's add a melody. So this song is in the key of G, but we're going to use different 4 notes. It's just 4 notes that we're going to use for this one. So let's start from the D note, double click in here, and duplicate this one by clicking Alt or Option. By the way, let's go back to our main view and make sure this clip is turned on. Okay, we've got a mistake. This should be twice as long. Okay, let's go 1 octave above. We can do that by holding Shift and pressing the up arrow. And this is a very simple beginning of this melody. Now, if we select this button and press Command and D, and we go 2 steps down, we're going to go to C, and that's going to be our second note. Let's do the same thing for A sharp. So 2 steps down, and let's do the same thing, but this time let's just go 1 step down. This is a very simple melody. Now, if you want to make these notes a bit quieter, you can just select all of these, hold Shift when you're selecting those. You can expand this little view, and you can make them quieter by dragging down these dots. That's it. I think we have the melody. Now let's add some bass. Let's right click somewhere, add a MIDI track, and we're going to use this sample. Let's drag it right here where it says drop an instrument or sample. Now, before we get started with the bass, make sure that your voices are set to 1, that the warping is off, and make sure you have a pretty high release setting. You can go all the way up with the release here. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Now, in order to make the 808 pattern, we're going to go back to our drum pattern, and let's copy the kick notes, press Command C, go back to our view. By the way, the shortcut for that is Shift and Tab, and let's go to the Rockstar clip. Let's first make the length 4 bars, and let's start from here. And we're going to paste in what we've just copied, and let's go to the G note. Now make sure to go to G2 or G3, because that is going to be close to the default pitch of the sample. We can now make this clip more interesting. Let's add a note here. That's going to give it more bounce. Let's add a note in here and go down 5 steps. Now let's copy this pattern exactly like this. Let's add a kick in here. Now we're going to go up a few steps from here. 3 steps exactly. Now this is where in the Rockstar there's something interesting going on. There's 3 kicks right here. So just listen to this. Now, you probably noticed that we should have this clip twice as long, because the chord progression is actually repeated once again. So let's go to 8 with the length, and we can actually duplicate this whole clip by selecting all of the notes, pressing Command and D. And now let's just go down 4 steps from here, and let's make sure all of our notes are playing the same note, which is D sharp. I don't think these notes are in Rockstar, so let's just delete these, and I think our pattern should be ready. Yes, I think this is a good bass pattern. Let's now add a pad in there, because in the original track there is some other instrument playing in the background, and I think this is this instrument. So let's just add a few chords to this. Let's double click here, and let's now add a few notes to make some chords. Now this song is in G minor, so we're gonna add a G minor chord. So G minor is G, A sharp, and D, and we're gonna also add a G at the top and G down there. let's make this as long as we have the clip. Actually, let's go to 8 as the length, and let's just lengthen all this. And let's duplicate this chord. Now the other chord is going to be D#7, but don't worry about the 7, it's nothing complicated. Basically, all you need to do is take these two notes and go down a few steps to D#. And let's play the clip. I think our beat is ready. I enjoyed making it a lot. And now I have an announcement for you guys. If you want more samples and more sounds like these that we used, I actually have a pack coming out. And I actually can show you guys the pack now. It has drum kits in there from popular tracks. It's got synths, very interesting synth sounds, bass samples, even MIDIs that you can drag right into Ableton. And there's even something like scales in the sample pack. If you guys drag this into Ableton and press Fold, you are left with all the keys from your scale. And basically, you'll never go out of key when you use this trick. So there's a lot of scales in here, and I think you guys would like it. Make sure to check out all of this in the link below the video. Now, thank you very much guys for watching. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments, and I hope to see you next time.